So you've done it. You've been through the whole patent appeal grind, and the decision is finally here. But guess what? This isn't the finish line. Nope. This is actually a massive decision point for your business. And what you do next, well, it matters a lot.
Man, this has got to feel familiar, right? That mix of, I don't know, relief and just pure exhaustion. You've poured so much time, so much energy into getting to this point, only to realize there's one more giant question staring you in the face.
And that's it. That's the question that can feel totally overwhelming. What is the right move for you, for your invention, and most importantly, for your company right now?
Okay, so let's frame this right. Think of this moment not as an ending, but as a strategic crossroads. You've basically got 3 different paths you can go down, and the one you pick is going to have a huge impact on where your business goes from here.
So how in the world do you choose? Well, it's actually pretty simple, but it requires a really critical mental shift. The right choice isn't about legal tactics. It's all about your business goals.
We have got to change our perspective here. You need to stop looking in the rearview mirror at what just happened in the appeal. Instead, you've got to look forward and ask, what does my business absolutely need to happen in the next 6, maybe 12 months?
No, seriously, I want you to ask yourself this. What is your #1 goal? Do you need a patent number on a piece of paper like yesterday to get that funding round closed? Or are you trying to build a huge defensive wall around your tech for the long haul? Because the answer to that question changes everything.
And you know, it almost always boils down to this. On one side, you've got the urgent need for speed. A granted patent is a real asset that can unlock funding, close deals, and on the other side, you've got the long-term strategy of building a solid patent portfolio, that moat we talk about, to protect you for years. Your priority here? That's your North Star.
All right, now that we've got our business goal locked in, let's open up the toolkit. We're going to break down the 3 specific options you have, but let's not think of them as just dry legal procedures. Think of them as strategic tools.
First up, we have Remand. Now, I know this can feel like you're stuck in limbo, but it's really an opportunity. The PTAB, that's the Patent Trial and Appeal Board, is basically telling the examiner, hey, take another look, but here's some specific guidance. This is your chance for a much more focused and hopefully more productive chat to get things sorted out. Next up, the Request for Continued Examination, or RCE. I want you to think of this as your power play. Filing an RCE puts you right back in the driver's seat. You're not waiting around, you're taking action, reopening the case yourself so you can amend your claims and attack the examiner's rejections head-on.
And our third tool, the continuation. This one's not really about fixing what went wrong, it's about building something bigger for the future. A continuation lets you file brand new applications that branch off your original one. This is how you protect future versions of your product, and, this is key, you get to keep your original filing date. It's a fantastic way to future-proof your IP.
So let's just lay it all out. Side by side, you can see the trade-offs pretty clearly. If your goal is just to clarify and resolve a specific issue the PTAB pointed out, Remand is super efficient. If you need control and, more importantly, speed for a business deadline, the RCE is your go-to power play. And if you're thinking bigger picture, expanding protection for a technology that's still evolving, a continuation is how you build that long-term defensive moat.
Okay, enough with the theory. How does this stuff actually work in the real world, when the pressure's on? Let's walk through a few common scenarios, what I call the founder's playbook.
So, imagine this. You're a startup founder. You're getting ready for your big Series A funding round. You've got this amazing key algorithm, but your patent application is just stuck. And time is absolutely everything.
And let's be honest, for this founder, a patent isn't just about legal protection. It's a powerful signal to investors. It's a tangible asset on the books that can directly boost your valuation and your ability to actually close the deal.
So the playbook here is crystal clear. The goal is speed. The strategy? File an RCE to take total control. The action? You don't argue for everything. You strategically zero in on just the claims that have the absolute best chance of getting allowed and fast. The result is you get that patent number for your investors, and then you can always file a continuation later to keep fighting for the broader stuff. It's a brilliant move.
All right, now let's flip the script completely. Let's talk about a different kind of founder. This person isn't chasing a funding deadline. Their focus is on building a really durable, long-term competitive advantage for a tech platform that could go in a dozen different directions. You see, for this founder, a single narrow patent just isn't going to cut it. They look at the appeal decision not as a failure, but as market research. They take everything they learned and they file a continuation with new, stronger claims to cover all those future applications.
They're not just trying to get one patent, they're strategically building a whole patent family. Okay, for our final scenario, what if the appeal decision itself actually creates a new opportunity? A chance for a faster, more collaborative way to get this done.
Now here's a little insider secret that a lot of founders miss. After an appeal, the whole dynamic with the examiner can change. Why? Because now they have clear instructions from the PTAB. It's not just you arguing with them anymore. It's a much more balanced conversation, and it's guided by a higher authority.
So a remand actually becomes your smartest, fastest move when the PTAB has pointed out some clear errors, when your claims are already pretty solid and just need a few tweaks, and your main goal is to just get this thing over the finish line efficiently. It can be a surprisingly quick path to getting your patent granted.
All right, let's bring it all home. The biggest mental shift you can possibly make after an appeal is this. Stop seeing this process as just a legal chore. You need to start seeing it as a source of powerful, strategic business leverage.
I want you to remember this. It doesn't matter if you won, lost, or got some mixed result. The decision gives you incredibly valuable information. It tells you exactly how the patent office sees your invention, which arguments land, and what needs to be fixed. That information, that's pure gold. It's leverage for whatever you decide to do next.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Don't ask what your next legal move should be. Instead, look at your product roadmap, look at your funding timeline, look at your competitors, and then, using the tools we just talked about, decide on your next business move.